Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get right into the information today. One take and uncut, and I apologize about any background noise if you hear the TV. So right here I have the chart up. Obviously these trend lines don't really make sense now that the wick went below. I did draw these after this short little bounce around the 13th. Figured I'd have this up as I talk a little general info really quick. So I know XRP_Anderson was referencing the other day what Chris Larsen said a while back, and this is the executive chairman of Ripple that really got everything going. And he was talking about the big four currencies. So he was just saying that the digital asset XRP would make the big four stronger. Now this is before there was all this publicity. It was back in the day when the institutions were really just trialing XRP, when they were talking about ripples and OpenCoin and the Ripple network and ILP. And it was really interesting back then. It really 100% was catered towards the institutional side for investment. Until maybe 2015, when Bitcoin started really making a name. Obviously, it's been making a name since, 09, 2010. But eventually, the retail side, you and I, everyday people, got a taste and kind of heard about these open sourced protocols and these networks and investment opportunities. Before then, it was really just to create, a world of financial inclusion, decentralize, get rid of the middleman, any type of, anarchists, supporting Bitcoin, things of that nature. Now, it's really interesting that Chris Larsen was talking about this. XRP would make the big four stronger, meaning the US dollar, the euro, the yen, the renminbi. And again, that's the Chinese currency, renminbi, or yuan, however you want to say it. And again, you'd think that XRP, and this is what, XRP_Anderson says, he goes, and you still think XRP is targeted towards just remittance? And that's a great point. Now, many people do speculate that it could be used for other purposes in the future, much bigger use cases, providing true global liquidity where and when you need it. Now, if you went directly from the US dollar to the euro without any, bridge asset or means of settlement, without, that necessary, good liquidity to prevent slippage costs, there are constant rate changes, there's high fees, there's so much associated with that. Now, XRP being that agnostic bridge asset, that vehicle to trade and exchange value, could significantly bring not only the savings, but instant settlements with finality, using a digital asset cryptocurrency with finality rather than several days, and reduce also the pre-funded accounts around the globe. That is why this is huge. All right. Now, something to keep in mind, guys. I'm going to be talking about, the governor of the Bank of England, and this is Mark Carney shortly. And, just typical talk about, level playing field, central bank digital currencies, a digital, US dollar or digital reserve currency. Everything's really interesting. Now, I'm not saying XRP is going to play a role. It could, which would be very exciting, but let's just try to be on the conservative end. Regardless, this type of monetary policy, high level, will drive demand, will drive the future for this asset space. So I'm keeping an eye on that 100%. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, I only pick Bitcoin, or, XRP is doing good. And in terms of fundamentals, besides the price performance, XRP is a no-brainer. But me, I'm simply waiting for the market reality and market perspective to balance out like that pendulum as this market matures. Obviously, always do your own research, and I prefer to do the exact opposite of what many people say, being a contrarian investor. And I know a lot of people have been using that term lately. I believe DAI brought it up after a book passage as well, and I really like that term. So now, once the masses say XRP is a good investment, that's when I'll be considering to sell or stop buying and just holding long term. And that's funny to me, but that's the truth. Once everybody is on XRP's side, that should be, the realization that, okay, well, now reality and perspective are equal. But guess what? It's going to change. The market is a constant dance, so you might want to sell. Now, what price is that? It's anybody's guess. Obviously, there's going to be, higher highs, lower lows. Obviously, the idea is an upward trend, but the market's always going to be balancing. And I know even C3 Nick said on Twitter, and he's obviously a big personality in the XRP community. He said, when everyone says that something is a good opportunity, then the money has already been made by someone else. That is so true. Question everything, including my motives as well, guys. But I'm trying to be upfront and transparent. So when everyone says that it's reckless to invest in, then that is where the potential opportunities for the future lie. Now, obviously, some could, completely wreck you. But with XRP, not financial advice, one man's opinion right here. Please do your own research. Double check me if I'm wrong. Correct me, please, and provide, sources as well. But just keep that in mind. Now, I've also, made a point as well recently just saying, there's not a chance I'm going to be selling any of my XRP until we see a higher price. I know that's relative, that's subjective based on what you need, whether it's 1 digit, 2 digit, 4 digits, whatever you believe. But I'm not in this market to make a mere, $50,000, $100,000 profit. For some, that's awesome. Maybe someone wants to make, $500K and they're older and they're ready to retire and they just want a little nest egg. That's awesome. For me, I want at least, 8 digits minimum profit. I want to walk away comfortable, extra comfy. Now, let's see if we are geniuses or we're just mere idiots in a few years. It's still too early to tell. And at the end of the day, our opinions do not matter. XRP is catered towards institutional usage, whereas, maybe XLM Lumens could be for retail use someday. But just know we're not the target market. We are simply riding this wave of transformation. And another point I want to make really quick before getting into the information is what can you do to help grow the XRP ecosystem? Lead by example, guys. I mean, whether it's making YouTube videos, writing blogs, or even just using the platforms, it doesn't matter. Or just talking about it and learning about it and reading and, purchasing books to read and, influence and learn about it yourself. You don't have to go share it around and tell everybody. But what can you do to make this ecosystem grow as well? So keep that in mind, because it's a lot easier to tell people what to do, but just take responsibility for yourself. And that's exactly what I'm doing, day after day. All right, so we got Mark Carney. Again, I know everybody in the XRP community is familiar with him. Looks like his, office term ends March in 2020, so that's interesting to see. And then as we can see here, so this is shared by Yellow Nation, Ripple Nation. So just talking about, cloud and AI. So overall, guys, he's just talking about this level playing field, central bank digital currencies. I've already said that. And he's just saying that cloud and AI specifically are most likely going to be the ones that make financial services leaner, faster, more efficient. 1/3 of UK payments and all of activities are hosted on the cloud today. Banking, of course, is the second biggest global spender on AI systems. These savings can go towards the customer. Obviously, the Bank of England, as he's advocating, is very open to using benefits of cloud and AI to roll out this tech to ensure these benefits are realized and happen, and also the risks are well managed. And guys, BOE, Bank of England, is a RippleNet partner. They have POCs, they have all kinds of things dating back for several years at this point. All right, so keep that in mind. And then lastly, just want to finish off this piece of news that XRP Crypto Wolf sent me. The XRP Ledger was announced as the base for Finexus tokenized asset issuance plan. So, I mean, we can, read this if you guys want to see the roadmap. Of course, it's on XRP Crypto Wolf's page. I also retweeted it. We have the source as well if you want to even see their Twitter or kind of take a look at their website. If you want to double check, highly recommend it. That's what I always do. And I mean, guys, very, very exciting. So it says, we will use the XRP Ledger to issue tokenized assets that could be exchanged by stablecoins on XRP, and we will try to use, I figure this is interesting, try to use Interledger to create a payment channel for FNX. Now, you have to look at the wording. Obviously, words mean things. It is absolutely interesting. Is this super bullish? I don't know, but it's cool that they're building on that. And I mean, right here, okay, so PCAP, obviously, application programming interface. I mean, we can connect the different digital currencies, including Ripple and XRP. So, I mean, obviously the goal is to settle an XRP or have that included in the volume, the price, the order books. That's kind of what you want. You want utility on the ledger, but you just don't want spam. You don't want some useless type of IOU taking up space. You want it to be XRP ideally, in my opinion. And let me know if you think otherwise. But if you wanted, Bitcoin being sent on the ledger as IOUs, I'd much rather it just be, utilizing XRP to settle. But, what do I know? I only read blockchain on a daily basis. So guys, let me know if you have any questions, concerns, where you see price going. I know many people are speculating, we're going to see 30 cents by end of week and then hopefully, get back over that once and for all. Time will tell. I'll believe it when I see it, guys. All I can tell you is long term, I am bullish. Nothing has changed. And I'm excited to see what kind of developments we have, starting with Davos, the 1% of the 1% meeting here, the World Economic Forum, the discussions with climate change, with central bank digital currencies going digital. I mean, simply monetary policies, guys, the richest of the rich, over 100 billionaires are meeting there to discuss for this entire week. We know that Brad Garlinghouse is attending, which should be no surprise. I mean, we have a lot of advisors in the fintech space there as well. I mean, honestly, guys, very, very exciting. I'm going to be sure to tune into that. I'm sure somebody's live streaming as well. If you want to see anything in particular or have any specific questions for me, be sure to follow me on Twitter. And again, guys, much appreciation for everybody that likes and subscribes, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.